So this high B, low B, how come you threw that tournament? Like, what is it that, because it's very different because, you know, it's opens, there's Bs and there's Cs, but we never see much like high B, low B. So what made you host that event?
Okay, well, we have an issue here. The issue is the C division. The C division has become a plague on our entire community, right? So at some point in the late 90s, early 2000s, the C division got flipped on its head by some young kids from 85 Park, right? And it's been kind of warped ever since to this day. There are no C players in the C division. Everybody in the C division is a B player. They're not high B players. Maybe they're not even mid B players, but they're B players, right? These guys play way too good. They all have good hands, good strategy, and they play good ball. And they're hiding out and marinating in the C division, not even wanting to get into a higher level. Some of them, as soon as they get pushed aside or forced to advance, they leave the game altogether. So instead of saying C division, we have to get used to the fact that these guys are not C division. Give them another acronym, something else to call themselves. You know what I mean? Low B, if that's what they want to do, they want to call themselves low B, at least that letter B is in there. You get what I'm saying? So we have to get rid of this whole thing with the C division. You got the never won anything, you got the low B, whatever you want to call it, we just got to get rid of this thing with the C division. There are not many real C players in the game, right? So the get these B players playing in B tournaments, the better the B division will be. The B division is actually wearing thin because the C's are becoming the majority. So now you have to have a BC event in order to have a good turnout. It should be just a B tournament, you know what I mean? So we're going to try to do our part, what we can, to make sure that the game advances, the players advance, and the quality of the games that we see is better for the spectators.
So you're saying there should be no C events at all?
I wouldn't say that. There's a place for it, but we want to make it so that a C division is true. You know what I mean? What we knew to be as C players once before is nothing like what we're seeing now. These C players are good. You know, these C players are beating top B players, low A play. Bernard, who just won a singles tournament, a C singles tournament, he beats A players here routinely. He's left some A players here under 10. You know, so that's routine. He's done this on a regular basis. Every week he adds a new A player to his list, this C player. So this is not authentic. This C division is not an authentic division. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to push it along and advance the guys, push them into their rightful place as quality players. A lot of these guys are quality players and they don't want to be known for the quality because they want to be a big fish in a small pond. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Now let's see event. Let's say the host doing whole C events. Do you feel like the rules or the criteria should be different?
No. I think, I don't know about the criteria, but the rules should be identical to everything else that we are used to. But handball has formats. There's a lot of formats, and we deal with formats all the time. We deal with the format on the street. We deal with the format from the nationals, the USHA, where it's best 2 out of 3. In some cases, it's 25 game. We deal with a lot of formats. I got something new coming along that mirrors the international format, which is rally scoring. I'm going to kind of make this a routine thing, rally scoring. Not so much on the weekends, but on the weekdays I'll be running tournaments where rally scoring is going to be in effect. It speeds up the game, and rally scoring is an honest version of the game. Whatever you've done, whatever you succeed at in a game with rally scoring, the score reflects that. You know, in a regular game, in a traditional scoring game, you may win some rallies but not score a point because you won from the back. But in rally scoring, whatever you do, whatever work you put in, that's what you get out. You score the point for that. And that's authentic. It's like tennis. It's like basketball. It's like soccer. All those things are rally scoring. So that's the direction that the international version of our game is going with wall ball, and I believe that that's the right direction to go in.
Okay. Now, last question. Do you feel like you're going to have another high B, low B event one day?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's going to be another high B, low B. There's going to be mixes of low Bs, you know, to push the low Bs and advance them into the normalcy of just Bs. These categories should not exist. But since they exist and people are willing to participate and they want to participate, I'd like to get them used to being thrown into a pond with higher quality players, a bigger pond, if you will. Yeah.
I think it's very different seeing the high B, low B events, the C events. Like, regardless, I think it's very interesting to see all the things, in my opinion. Yeah. But everybody's different, you know?
I agree with it. I agree with it. I agree with it. But there is a time that you should be in a division if that's what you're looking for, but you shouldn't live there. You shouldn't advance your skills, advance your quality, but yet try to avoid everything at some point to just stay into this lower division. You should test yourself. I mean, the whole purpose of this game is not necessarily about winning, but it's about increasing your skill set. It's about seeking personal excellence, achieving personal excellence. Do you want to just win because these guys are not good? Or do you want to be involved in a situation where you have a ton of opposition with high quality skill set? You know what I mean? Do you want to beat somebody's name when they're playing bad, or you want to beat somebody that's playing good? You know, you want to beat Buddy when he's 90 years old just because his name is Buddy? No, you don't want to do that, right? So you don't want to beat on guys that you already beaten, divisions that you've already won, just to say that you're good, because you're not actually good. You know, it's like John F. Kennedy said, we're going to the moon because it's hard, right? Not because it's easy. You do it because it's hard. If you're staying in the C division, you're doing it because it's easy. This is the opposite of everything the warrior spirit is about. So yeah, you can start off in a division and keep it moving, keep it pushing.
All right, and there you have it. As you can see, this is the host again, Izzy, for the High B Low B event.
All right.
And right now, we'll be right back for the finals. Stay tuned.